Okay, we should be live. So just stand by while I get myself all set up for everything here. First thing I want to do is get my chat up and running so I can interact with you fine people. And thank you for joining me today. Do appreciate it. Hope to go for, I don't know, maybe an hour and a half. We'll see how much time we've got. Let's see here. Loading up chat now. You are indeed live. Thank you, Angus. Well explained. How do I sound? Is there an echo? Is the audio quality okay? Any technical things I should be concerned? I closed the window too soon again. I gotta stop doing that. Get the URL so I can share it. So we can get a good conversation going. Here we go. 2 people watching. That is a fantastic start this early in the live stream, especially since I have shared it nowhere yet. And that's the idea, is that if you want your channel reviewed, your question answered, your tutorial done live, you're going to want to join us for these live streams as early as possible. The fastest way to do that is be subscribed to this channel, Small YouTubers Boost, with notifications turned on. Then you'll get a notification before I share it anywhere, and then get a chance to come in, and the first person to talk in chat gets their request addressed first. So in this case, it's Angus Explains. But first, I just need to do some social sharing before we dive right in. Audio sounds fine. I'm in frame. Cool. Awesome. Fantastic. So this is going to be a slightly shorter than... recently, we've been doing 2-hour sessions pretty consistently. This one's going to be a little shorter than that, probably about 90 minutes. So I'm going to try and just get this sharing done so we can just dive right into all the juicy, nitty-gritty, value-laden parts of YouTube. I don't know. Hopefully that sounds good to you. Just sharing it in some Facebook groups. And of course, the Facebook group that inspires this entire channel is Small YouTubers Boost. You can find us at facebook.com/groups/Small YouTubers Boost. Check the announcements. There is a discount code for TubeBuddy, which is something I'll be talking about probably a little bit later. Saves you 20% if you happen to get the paid version. Now, in full disclosure, if you have less than 1,000 subscribers, there is a discount for that that's actually a little bit better than ours, so go and use that one instead, if that's your situation. But for if and when you get over that 1,000 subscriber mark, our discount is the best one in town. You can combine it with the annual purchase. This video is not sponsored, but I got an affiliate link down below. Okay, that was just me rambling while I was doing the social sharing. Social sharing is done. You've got my full attention, people. So hope everyone's doing fine on this fantastic Saturday. It's a new Saturday Night Live tonight, if you care. It's one of the things I always find myself looking up on Saturdays. Am I staying up late tonight or not? Okay, so anyways, Angus Explains, you're the first one in chat, so what's your request? Would you like a channel review? Would you like me to look at maybe one of your videos, not watch the video, but to see the title tags, descriptions, maybe help get it unstuck? Is there a tutorial, specific function? Do you have a question? It could be about YouTube, running a large Facebook group, whatever you like. Feel free to hit me up in chat. Hey, Achilles, welcome to the party, man. And Amanda's Right Life, lovely to have you here as always. Yeah, so while I'm waiting for Angus's request to come through, my caveat that I quickly get out of the way is there's 2 rules to this live stream. You can find it in the description down below, but basically I want to say it out loud so everyone's on the same page. I am not going to subscribe to anyone's channels during this session because I don't want chat to become everyone being like, hey, look at me, subscribe to me. I want it to be about something more valuable than that. If I can give some tips, some advice, some ideas that drive you to do something a little better, that drives you to get many more subscribers over a long period of time, then that's better value for you. The second thing is I'm not going to be watching any videos. I've got my speakers off because I don't want any content ID matches, even if something auto plays. And if there's one long video, that's the whole session. So, but I will look at videos in terms of titles, description, thumbnails, tags, things like that, if that's part of your request. So Angus Explains has said, I would absolutely love a channel review, so it's your lucky day. We're going to dive right in. Actually, hold on. One quick thing before we do that. I just wanted to let people know that YouTube announced recently, those of you who are not yet monetized, the backlog for reviewing channels is currently once again above a month. We've heard reports in the group, and people are constantly asking in the group, how long does it take to get my channel reviewed once I hit that monetized threshold, 1,000 subscribers, 4,000 hours of watch time? My experience back in November, December was 5 weeks. Since then, they had gotten it down to under a month, but they are apparently back up to it taking more than a month for review. So if that's important to you, now you know. All right, so Angus Explains. We're going to dive right in. I think I've looked at, like, your profile picture seems familiar to me. So I think yeah. Yeah, no, Quirks and Foibles. I remember this. I have definitely done a channel review. So you can catch that on an earlier live stream, which is available on the channel here. I just want to see if there are. I do see that you've got a couple videos that you've posted since I've done my last live stream, so I can look at that a little bit more. But in terms of if you're looking for a full channel review, I did review your channel in one of the last 2 live streams. So, audio randomly cutting out for anyone else. Oh, never mind. It was my YouTube. It was sliding with my mouse. Yeah, that happens. It's like it gets fixed on the audio slider and you're moving your mouse around and you're like, what's going on? So anyways, I will take a quick look at, how about we look at the, let's, instead of doing a channel review, because Angus, you were here first, I want to give you your value, for doing that. Congratulations to being first. Speaking of which, I had my first ever, time where somebody came in and commented on one of my videos. It was here on Small YouTubers Boost, and they commented first. It's never happened to me before. And you know how that like happens on like, you know, the bigger YouTubers and stuff. And so I was like, oh my God, I kind of made it. It reminded me of when I posted my Six Flags video on my Vacation Impossible channel where I was getting kicked off the rides at Six Flags for having a GoPro. That's simplification. You can go watch that video some other time. But basically, I was getting a lot of hate in the comments. And I was like, I had my first trolls. And so I should be really upset because these people were like, you should be murdered and killed and you're the worst person ever and you should never be allowed in an amusement park again. And I like a normal person would respond with like hurt feelings. And I was like, looks like we made it. So happy. I was like, that's one of the steps, I think, towards internet success is having people hate you. It's just the way of the world. And so I had my first ever somebody just commenting first because they were the first one to comment when a video went live. And I'm like, it was that feeling all over again. So I don't know what the next thing like that will be. Who knows? Okay, best things about England is your most recent video here. Best thing about living in England. Cats versus Dogs 2019. So I'm not going to watch the video. I'm going to pause it right away, but I'm going to kind of look at your setup here. That is an interesting opening image there. And it looks like you've got a title card right off the bat. And so I mean an info card, sorry. And so I see that here. For those of you wondering, my YouTube is going to look possibly different from yours for three different reasons. One, I've got the premium version, so I don't have to deal with ads, which is nice. 2, I've got it in dark mode, which is nice, especially for people who might be a little bit more light sensitive, as I happen to be. And I also have TubeBuddy installed. And so TubeBuddy is, among other things, a browser plugin that gives you things like this Videolytics toolbox on the right-hand side here that is absolutely essential for understanding your videos, for understanding my videos, a variety of things. So if it looks different, that's why. If you want to get the TubeBuddy browser plugin, there's a link down below. It's an affiliate link if you happen to buy the paid version. But there is also a free version that gives you a lot of the functionality that you'll be seeing here as well. So I highly recommend getting that, even if it's just the free version. But I do also recommend the paid. It's affiliate link, not a sponsored video. So I got that out of the way. All right, so I'm going to look at that right away. And so I'm going to, so Angus, you are ranking for one search term, which is Angus Explains. So that is in alignment with your title, which is fine. And if I click on this here, you'll see it brings up the Keyword Explorer, another TubeBuddy function, which is quite useful. And so it gives you a sense of this search term, Angus Explains. Is it a good search term to go for? And so in this case, it gets a 28 out of 100 score, which it rates as fair, which is actually on the lower side of things. Now, it is your channel name, so if people search that, they're probably going to find you, but the search volumes, as you can see here, are relatively low. And for a newer YouTuber, for a small YouTuber, that's to be expected, because what is prompting people to go and search your name? Well, I just did because you're in chat, but that's not something that often happens to the smaller YouTubers early on. And so you'll notice here, someone was asking me in the group about this earlier, so I'll just quickly mention. You'll see it next to overall score, there's weighted and unweighted. So unweighted is how this search term would do for any random channel. Weighted is how it would do for my particular channel, and ironically, I would actually do very good with this search term. Now, I'm not currently logged in as Small YouTubers Boost. I'm logged in as my primary channel, which is Vacation Impossible. So if I decided to make a video with that term, it would apparently do well for me, according to this. I don't see how I would, unless I traveled to collaborate with you or something. Like I'm a travel channel. I don't see how I would go after that search term. But I'm just showing some basic functionality here. So that's the one you're ranking for, but the other one's not so much. And so I do have some suggestions on how you can do a little bit more with this video. So one thing, so best thing about living in England is in the title. And then what's the best thing about living in England is the description. So you're getting some keyword alignment there. And it is a tag, best thing about living in England. Unfortunately, it's not ranking right now. So that is probably a somewhat competitive keyword. But one thing I'm noticing here is you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 keywords on the video, and you have up to 500 characters that you can use. And so I can't imagine that this is maxing that 500 characters out. Really, you should be everyone should have be using at least 400 of the 500 characters on your tags for every video. But you want to make sure that those tags are accurate. Because if you have inaccurate tags, if you had a tag here that was something completely unrelated to what you're talking about, so if you had Overwatch gameplay as a tag to this video that has nothing to do with that particular video game, that could get you in trouble because you could get a community strike for being misleading in your video, in your tags, your descriptions, and how you share it, things like that. So you want to make sure it's accurate. And the thing, I've spoken about this before, but YouTube has the ability to actually hear the words that you're saying. That's how auto-captioning works. I mean, if you think about it, there's a lot of voice-to-text software out there in the world, Dragon Naturally Speaking and things like that for people who may have hurt their arm and they need to write emails and they can't type right now, or people who, have lost limbs or whatever. So it's a great accessibility thing for people. And so that kind of technology is integrated into a lot of platforms, and YouTube is definitely one of them. So YouTube has the ability to hear the words that you're saying in the video. It might be a little creepy, but it can be helpful for that auto-captioning. But the reason that is so if you say the words, the best thing about living in England, in your video, it's also in your title, it's also in your description, it's also in the tag, then that's good and accurate. So people often ask, I have trouble tagging my videos. Well, TubeBuddy can help with that. The free version gives you 3 suggestions when you have the browser plugin installed. You just go and click edit on your video, and if they're accurate, with one click you can add them, which is nice. The paid versions have more. There's 3 tiers. I've got Legendary. I went whole hog, which is probably more than most people need, and it gives me screens and screens and screens of suggestions. And when I'm stuck, when I've only had 7 or so tags I came up with, then I go through that, and some of them are useful, or sometimes it serves the purpose of prompting me to think, oh, you know what? Not that, but maybe the plural version of that suggestion. Or, no, wait, I know what I can. And so it helps me spark the creativity of my own, as well as using their suggestions. So it's not just limited because some people are like, oh, their suggestions are crap. And it's not always great. Sometimes it's brilliant, and sometimes it's like, did you watch the same video I watched? But I find it is always helpful in that process. So that's one thing I would suggest. If you don't have TubeBuddy, follow the link down below, install the browser plugin, go back to this video, click edit, and see what tags it suggests. If they're accurate, add them. And so it's interesting because, for example, in your title, you have Cats vs. Dogs 2019. In your description, you have Cats vs. Dogs. But in your meta tags, you do not have Cats vs. Dogs at all. And so you might want to consider possibly adding that. It could be, Cats vs. Dogs, Cats vs. Dogs 2019, Cats versus Dogs, Cats versus Dogs 2019. And again, if you have TubeBuddy installed, you can try all of those and then sort of save it and then sort of refresh it, and you'll see, like Angus explains here on the far right-hand side, there's the number 2 in white font inside of a green box. That's showing that if you searched Angus Explains right now, this video would be the number 2 result. That's what that is. So the more of those tags that have those boxes, the better, and the smaller the number, the higher the ranking. So if you have a bunch with 1s, fantastic. That's an important step. So, like you mentioned in the description, men in skinny jeans. You could put men in skinny jeans as a tag potentially. And you can play around with it, see what ranks and does well. Ranking your tags is important because it improves your discoverability in search through SEOs, search engine optimization. Oops, sorry, headphone users. I hit my microphone there. But it's also helpful for recommended. So if there's another video out there, maybe, I don't know, Colin Firth did something about the best thing about living in England, and maybe he has a video, maybe it blows up, I don't know. But maybe if you have a similar topic and you've captioned your video, you've said it's in the title, description, tags, it's very similar to his in that regard, it could come up as a recommended. And so someone else's video blowing up, you could kind of ride their coattails potentially through the recommended function. And so that is really where tags become relevant. Someone had posted in the Facebook group not too long ago, they said, oh, tags don't get you subscribers. And I was like, being all Yoda, and my Yoda sucks, fair warning, but I was like, yes, but you know, what was it? It was tags leads to search leads to views leads to subscribers, and subscribers leads to suffering, which was a joke. But the idea is that can be a gateway into your video and therefore into your channel. So I think that is something that's really good to focus on. I see here, TubeBuddy has this great thing that I love because I am a little forgetful, a little scatterbrained, but more than that, there's a grabillion, my word, grabillion things that you need to remember to do with YouTube, because and I believe, especially those of us who just like, you know, there's some people who can be an overnight success. They have good luck. You know, and maybe some famous person tweets about them or whatever is the classic example. But for whatever reason, they blow up. But you can't count on that. And so a lot of us small YouTubers, we're the ones who grinding away. We always see that word grind, right? And, you know, how does small YouTubers grow over time? I think those of us who stick around for years, we've got the resilience and the staying power. I've been on the platform since 2006, and I've seen that, you know, sticking with it means a lot. And but how do you grow? It's not just always being present, but it's all these little things. And if there's 100 little things you can do to give yourself a little advantage, then do as many as you possibly can, as often as you possibly can. And so TubeBuddy helps you remember that. And the best practices module here inside the Videolytics is really quite useful for that. And so there, in this display, you get 8 different things on their list that they recommend doing. And so in this case, you have 6 of the 8, but 2 are missing, and they can actually be very important ones. The first one is the high-resolution thumbnail. So this speaks to things like click-through rates and things like that. So you're going to want to have, when your video shows up either in search or recommended, see, doing well based on those tags, showing up high in search and being recommended off of popular videos, that's part of the battle. But the next part of that battle, after you've won that part of the war, your image, your thumbnail needs to be something that will encourage people to click on it, because it's going to be with a bunch of other stuff. You're competing against a bunch of other videos. So to make yours look very good, you want to try and customize it yourself. So one of the ways that you can do that somewhat easily, this is somewhat my process, because I run a travel channel, Vacation Impossible, right? And so when we travel, we take tons of video and tons of pictures. We've got a DSLR, GoPros, all sorts of stuff. So generally speaking, when I'm uploading a video, I'll have still images that we took with a DSLR or something else that I can use as thumbnails that tie into the video, and that's a great place to start, but that's not always the case. Just today on Vacation Impossible, I released a video that was a hotel review of this very fancy hotel in Victoria, BC, Canada. And I went through my pictures, and I only had one picture that was of the restaurant. I kind of used it as a fake end card at the end of that video, but for a thumbnail, I was struggling because it's all about the room in the hotel. I barely talk about the restaurant, so that wouldn't be a very good thumbnail. It wouldn't be accurate. So what I did, sorry, I hit the mic again. Gotta stop talking so much with my hands. So what I did is I went through the video, and I found a freeze frame that was very good, I thought, and representative of it. And here's what I did. I used Media Player Classic, so when you hit Alt-Enter, it goes full screen. But whatever video viewer you're using, and make it go full screen, and hit print screen. Then open up your video editing software, whatever it is. In my case, it's Photoshop. Open up a new file and just paste it. And so now I've got a screen grab of my video. Now I can do things like put some text on it, adjust it in certain ways. So one of the things I often recommend for thumbnails is to increase your vibrance and your saturation about 25 points in Photoshop. Sometimes it makes the colors look unrealistic, and so if it does that, don't. Or like maybe double down on one and not the other, because like saturation can sometimes make people look really pink, I find, at least me. And so if that's happening, I might do 50 points on vibrance and nothing on saturation. Another thing, if you have Photoshop, for example, is what I did today on today's thumbnail for Vacation Impossible, is I used the auto function for brightness and contrast and for levels. And that made I had a lot of dark shadows in the screen grab, and it actually like kind of normalized the brightness of the image, yet still providing contrast that different things popped out. Then all I did is I put, you know, the name of the hotel is Hotel Rialto. So I put in text Hotel Rialto, and then I put a little box behind it that had like a 50% fill that just made the text pop against the background, and that was it. And so as you gain competence with whatever you're using, Photoshop, whatever, your workflow will get faster. and you'll find a style and system and workflow that works well for you. And so that's sort of what I did. And that's it. So the thumbnail for me wasn't very complicated and it didn't take very long. But it's good for a couple of reasons. When I was searching prior to uploading the video, I go into incognito mode on Chrome and I searched Hotel Rialto reviews. And there was none talking about that hotel. They were talking about a hotel in Australia and I think another in Italy. But even then, I was looking at the thumbnails and almost none of them had any text. And one that did, the text was, it was okay. It was like bright yellow against a dark background, but I think this style of mine looks slightly more professional, if I can toot my own horn a tiny bit. I suck at graphics design. I am not a professional. I have no training. I watched some Roberto Blake tutorials and did my best. But I think it looks a little bit more professional than the only other one that had text, and so I'm hoping it'll stand out well. So that's part of it. The other half, the other side of that coin, the other reason you want to have a custom thumbnail that's high resolution, so we're talking, at least 720 pixels tall, is that the algorithm then takes note. Oh, this person's they went to the trouble of making a custom thumbnail. Maybe they're a bit more serious. And so I think it helps you algorithmically as well as in terms of enticing people to watch. So that's important. The other thing I noticed here is that there is no end screen added. So I'm just going to hop to the end of the video. Sorry, I'm going to tank your watch time here. But it's interesting. So you've got an image here that it looks like you could play with. Like, you've got the watermark down, so good on you there. That's fantastic. But there's another opportunity you could be giving people to subscribe and watch more of your videos, and that would be in an end screen. So what you need to have for an end screen, there's one mandatory component, and that would be it has to link to another video. You can have multiple videos, you can have a subscribe button, and that can help drive your subscriber growth quite nicely, but as a bare minimum, that. And so find a space, I'm thinking the top or the right corner, where you could put a video, in the last 20 seconds or less. I think it's like minimum 5, maximum 20, something like that, just to put in there, and then it does a couple things for you. Again, the algorithm will favor you, I think, because it's one of the 1,000 data points it looks to. It says, oh, end screen. This guy probably means business, probably professional. They're using all the tools we give them. Maybe I'll more likely do that. And also, suggest one of your videos. It keeps people and you getting more views and more watch time, keeps people on the platform and on your channel. It's very good. So what I recommend is, in one corner, put a video link. In the other corner, put a subscribe link. And you might see your subscribers grow a little bit from that. And so those are some of the things about this particular video. You're getting some good comments here. Wow, this chewed pizza seems to really comment quite a bit. So you might have yourself a super fan there, which is cool. I see you've pinned it and you've liked it and you've replied to one of them. If at all possible, reply to all of them. I know it looks like a couple of them have not been replied to yet. So I recommend replying to everyone that you can. But the other thing that you could potentially do is in your description, at the very bottom, you can put hashtags, a maximum of 3. So you put the pound symbol, hashtag, and then some characters after it, a word or whatever. And so it could be hashtag best thing about living in England, hashtag cats versus dogs, hashtag Angus explains. There's 3 that you could put right now. Put it at the very bottom, because what it'll do is those hashtags will appear in blue clickable links above the title. It looks nice, it's professional, and again, it's another function of YouTube that you're using, and so when the algorithm comes along and says, is this person serious or not, I think it's plus a few points to House Angus, if you will. So yeah, that is some suggestions I have about that particular thing. And so these sorts of suggestions, I think, are probably applicable to a lot of other videos, both for yourself and for just anybody watching, to remember to do those things. So hopefully that's helpful. I'm going to hop back over to chat and see what's what. Okay. The second person here was Amanda's Right Life, who has been here a lot, so I don't know if she has any requests or not. Seeing if she said anything else in chat. I think so far. So is there something that I can do for you today, Amanda? Do you have a question, a tutorial you want to see? I know I've looked at your channel a lot, so I don't know that I can have much more value there. But yeah, I'm just gonna check chat while I'm waiting for a reply to that. Hey Ray, everything good? Got a mild headache, but otherwise things are fine. Doing okay. You didn't review mine previously. Well, maybe I'll get to you this time. Long time ago without Watch You Men. Oh, hey. I remember that you showed me my channel. Hello, Ray. Hi, Operation Life. Ooh, live stream. Ace of Vegas. I remember you. Let's see here. I had a question about live streams. Can I make a gaming live stream on an Apple device? Mainly talking about iPhone and iPad. I can't help you. I am so sorry. If somebody else is able to answer that question in chat, that would be fantastic. One thing that you can do if you want to appear here on Small YouTubers Boost is you can submit a member tip video. And so if somebody wants to create a tip video that answers this question, we can put it up on this channel. And here's the deal. I have to retain all the rights to the video because it's just too complicated otherwise. But that having been said, I will happily put an info card in the video that links to your channel. I will put an end card on the video that links to your channel. I'll put a link to your channel in the description, and you can mention your channel in the video and even include a graphic or something if you want. Happy to do all of those things if you want to submit a member video. And so somebody who can answer that would be great. I am not an Apple person. I've never really owned an Apple product in my life. And so I'm on Windows, and I use, Adobe products, and my phone is a Sony Xperia, so I'm an Android person. My tablet is a Windows Surface, a Microsoft Surface, so I know nothing about Apple. Sorry. Yeah, got to use as many as the 500 characters and tags as you can. Like Abbas Production has TubeBuddy. Started using the app today. So far, it's pretty good. I'm looking forward to using it in the future. So like Abbas Productions, I recommend that maybe after this live stream, you check out, we've got a playlist of about 7 tutorial videos about TubeBuddy that will hopefully help you understand how to use it better and help you get a little bit more value out of it. And so that might help you. Just a suggestion. Very insightful. I reached my goal, which was 1,000 subscribers and 4K watch hours finally, and all of that for the advice you gave me along the way. That's awesome. I love hearing that. That makes my day, man. Thanks, Crazy Blood Official. Does the free version have the ranking on your tags? Yes, it does. Yes, it does. That's a simple answer. Oh yeah, I wanted to ask about the recommendation function. I'm trying to get rid of that nasty popular channels list. Yeah, the popular channels list. It's sort of an indication that YouTube doesn't fully grasp what your channel is about. How do you get rid of it, or rather, upgrade it into related channels? And so to do that, you're going to want to stay on brand, on niche, whatever. You want to have a very narrow niche and stick to it as much as you can. And you're going to want to do things like caption your videos and have titles and descriptions and tags that align with the things that you actually say in the video. And then the more videos like that you have, the more confidence YouTube has that, yes, you are about travel. Yes, you are about hats, men's fashion, whatever you're about. And so that is really consistent. And also having some of the settings behind the scenes, I think, on your videos is helpful too. One thing that's useful is if you go to, actually, let's do it right now. Let's go to Social Blade and just take a look at, I'm gonna show you my 2 channels, just to show you a difference, which is interesting. I haven't really been too concerned because Vacation Impossible is kind of my first love, and I focus most of my attention on that. Just waiting for this to load here. While I'm waiting for that, slow internet, I guess, while I'm broadcasting. I'm not seeing anything from Amanda, so I'm not sure if she's still with us. So I'll probably move on to the next person once I do this quick little Social Blade thing, if it ever loads. Come on, Ergo, what are you doing? Ergo, the creator of Social Blade. Nice guy. He liked one of my personal pictures on my personal Instagram the other day, which is nice. It was a picture of me playing Super Mario World on the Super Nintendo Classic. So the reason I'm bringing this up here is you can see in the middle of the screen right now under channel type, it says travel, right? And so in order to have that to be populated, you need to have at least your last 5 videos be in the same category type. I'd recommend as much as possible have all your videos in the same category type, because Social Blade ties into the YouTube API, and so that it kind of gives you, along with TubeBuddy, I use both tools quite a bit. It gives you some useful information. So the thing is it knows my channel's about travel because I'm consistently, that's the category I'm publishing videos in. But let's hop over to Small YouTubers Boost. I've been doing the same thing, but it doesn't have the channel type. So I might need to submit a ticket here to actually get them to refresh that data. But that's one of the ways that if you have your channel type showing on Social Blade and it's accurately representing your channel, that's sort of a sign that you're choosing categories consistently in your channel, and that's one of those many things that can help you change popular into related. It lets you know that, okay, yeah, you're being consistent. And again, that's the word consistency is thrown around a lot in relation to YouTube and in our group and in other groups in different places. And consistency means a lot of things. It doesn't just mean uploading every day. It really doesn't. One of the things is you're talking about consistent topics. You're consistently captioning your videos. I know that's a difficult thing to do, but like you're consistently tagging your videos and the tags are similar and related and things of that nature. So consistency takes many shapes and forms, not just how often you upload. And so I definitely want to broaden our definition there beyond that. So not seeing anything in chat from Amanda. So the next person who joined us was Achilles Melee. So Achilles, is there anything I can help you with today? If you're still around, still joining us, I know you're doing some live stream. I just got related today. Yeah. Achilles messaged me about that, and he was being related. And yeah, I mean, you're on your related list. It will often be larger YouTube channels, but not always. And breaking through on their related lists is very hard. So it's sometimes funneling up to them. Yeah, Achilles should be here still, probably. He spoke up in chat not too long ago. There you go. I will let it go to someone else. You reviewed mine before. Sonny is such a nice guy. And you know what? If you care about microtransactions in video games, go check out Achilles Melee's channel sometime after this live stream. Not now, don't lose me. But he put out a video recently, this 10-minute video, talking about some really dodgy practices that are happening in the Anthem game with regards to microtransactions and pay for skins and stuff like that. And so if that's the thing you care about, he sums it up really quite nicely. I recommend you check that out. Just not right now. All right, who's next? Spixru Game. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right. Asked if everything was good. Yeah, Angry Joe. That's who it was. I think Angry Joe was at Portland Retro Gaming Expo a couple years ago. I don't really know who he is. I just remember seeing his name on the program, in the program. So, anyways, yeah, Spixru Game. Did you have a request? Are you still with us? Crazy Blood Official. When I search my name in Social Blade, it doesn't appear. Let's take a look. It won't take long. I'm not queue jumping. This is just going to take a second. Boy, I wish they didn't have this thing. I don't mind it on desktop so much, but when this appears on my phone, I don't know, it annoys me. I think that's you. The avatar's just not displaying, but it looks like you. The avatar's not displaying. But I imagine this is you. You're doing very well, looks like. You're averaging 14 subscribers a day and 1,000 views a day. That is a very healthy channel. C+ rating. Pretty good. So if that's you, hopefully that's you, you're there. Okay. I haven't heard anything from Spixru Game. I'm trying to remember I don't know if I've reviewed this channel before or not. Might give it a quick review. Even though they're not here, not unlike when Angus asked before, and then I think he wasn't here and actually did it, they can always go back and watch it later, and maybe we'll all learn something together while we're looking. It's funny, my own stream is being suggested to me because I'm logged in as a different channel. Okay. It's a pretty simple logo, but simple can be good. It's nice and clean, so that's fine. I would suggest making the text larger so that it's easier to read at smaller resolutions when it's kind of zoomed out. I'm a Brazilian who makes videos of video games that I enjoy. I make funny videos to entertain people. Hopefully you'll like them. I think that's fine. You know, it could be tightened up a little bit in the language, but there's nothing jumping out at me specifically about that description. And since I'm not sure if they're still here, I'm going to make this probably a light touch review. 13 videos, 17 subscribers. So I'm guessing that they haven't been on the platform long. They do have something serving as a channel trailer, which is nice. Ben 10 on the PS2, but it's 2019. I kind of like that. That's kind of cool. I'm currently playing Final Fantasy 12 on my PS2. So, you know, respect. You got popular channels, you got recommended channels, it's good. Your channel layout's pretty good. Uploads, popular uploads, created playlists, weird games. That's all fine. I mean, for a channel of your relative age, this setup is actually quite good. You got your social links set up. Very plain banner. So I would consider using the space to the left and the right, unless you're going for a minimalist look. And if you are, that's fine. You know, professional YouTubers who like, you know, and what I mean by professional is like people who've quit their day jobs. You know, in fact, Angry Joe, for example, they don't do a lot on the left and the right of their banner. And so there's nothing wrong with having a clean minimalist appearance. That's totally good. Multitasking here. So I'm going to click on Channelytics. This is one of the TubeBuddy functions you get from the browser plugin. And you get this in the free version or the paid version. Doesn't matter. It does have this one little glitch where you load it and the subscribers won't load. So you switch over to something else and then back to subscribers and then they load. So a pro tip there. So let's see here. You got your links. You've got some channel tags, which is good. Old PS2 games, PS2. That's pretty good. You could probably flush them out a little bit more. Gaming, highlights, the retro, those are really short and kind of competitive, so maybe PS2 highlights would do better. Funny PS2 clips, funny PS2 highlights, PS2 gaming, stuff like that. The longer tail is less competitive. Even the ones I just mentioned, they're probably gonna be pretty darn competitive, but it'll stand a better shot at those, I think, than just the word gaming or just the word highlights or just the word retro. So let's see here. Not much happening with subscribers recently, which is interesting. Views have been pretty steady. Had a couple days with like little bursts of activity. Do they correspond to video? And they correspond to video releases. So once again, for like the 80th time, we are verifying right here empirically in real time that one of the best things you can do for your channel is put out another video. Don't do more than one a day is my advice, but when you put out a video, you get more views. It's just the way it is. And you know what? I put out my Hotel Rialto review video today, and I am, full disclosure, not expecting it to do well. I'm just not. I don't think it has a huge audience. I get a sense, you know, being on YouTube for as long as I have been, of what videos are going to do well and what aren't. I know this is going to be one of those ones that it might be a sleeper hit, like people over time who search the hotel will probably come to it. So it'll be like an infection vector, hopefully, where people will discover my channel through searching it on like Google and YouTube, and that will probably help, but that's going to be a slow burn. I don't think there's thousands of people curious about that hotel right this moment, but there could be over the course of a year. And so I'm playing a long game with that video. But the fact that I get it out, and I've seen this time and time again on my channel and others, getting a new video out, even if it does poorly, even if it gets virtually no views, your other videos will do better. The algorithm will look more favorably on videos that come from a channel that has had a video come out within the last week. I am convinced of this. I am completely convinced of this. I've seen it so many times. I've never seen a situation where I put out a video and like my views drop on other videos. Never happened. I've never seen it. It's only gone the other way every single time. Might not be a lot, but it can make a difference. You know, a 10% increase could make a huge difference. Who here in chat, if offered a 10% increase in viewership of their views, would say no? Not unless it came with a hefty price tag, I think. So, yeah, that's just one more time that we're confirming that putting out a video, like if you're like, what should I do today? If you haven't yet put out a video today, work on getting a video out is top of the list if possible. If there's reasons you can't, and that's fine, like sometimes I'm waiting on footage from someone so I can't go to the next video, then you can think about, oh, I'll optimize old videos, I'll go share things on Reddit, I'll engage in a Facebook community, I'll tweak my thumbnails, whatever. But if you're thinking, like, what can I do that'll have the biggest impact on my channel? If you haven't released a video today, then it's releasing a video today. Biggest impact on your channel. I'm curious how old this channel is. A little over a year old, January 2018. Okay. And so, yeah, they're doing the right thing with their email there. So what I would suggest, and it says hopefully you'll like them, videos every week. I don't mean to be a jerk here, but I don't think that's strictly speaking true. If we were to look at your videos... Your videos, come on, TubeBuddy, get together. You had a video come out on the 18th and nothing the previous 17 days. So this is going to sound harsh. I don't mean it to sound harsh. I just want it to be kind of something to think about is, frankly, your audience could think that you're lying. That's a harsh way of putting it, and I apologize for the harshness, but the simple fact is they might look at it that way. Don't put out a claim that you can't back up. You know, and it drives me nuts sometimes. People post in the Facebook group and they're like, I'm the fastest rising YouTuber. I'm like, show your work. Proof? Cite your source. You know, up-and-coming YouTuber. Okay, well, like, kind of everyone is, right? Generally speaking. I guess some channels are in decline, but, like, you wouldn't be here sharing if you were in decline, one would think. So that kind of stuff drives me nuts. Or, like, you know, the best rap you'll ever hear. And people are like, this is okay. I see that a lot in the group. And I mean, it's fine to hype yourself and you want to be positive, put your best foot forward, but don't say things that could be demonstrably untrue. And for example, videos every week, well, there's a 17-day period with no video, so it's demonstrably untrue. And so I don't want to harsh on that too much. I'm not ragging on you here, but my point is you can use the space better. Instead of saying something that's not strictly speaking consistently true, say something else. Use that space to talk about why you do what you do. Why do you spend the time to make these videos? You know, what about these games do you love? Why are you playing the PS2 after all these years? I know why I am. Why are you? I would like to know that as somebody who enjoys that. So, you know, do you think that, like, you know, the PS2 is the height of gaming? Do you think that maybe PS2 was such a wonderful platform because the barriers to entry were really low, and so you had so many games and so much variety? You know, like, I love the Final Fantasy game, but I also love 24 the game on PS2. And, like, I don't know that they would have made a game for the TV show 24 on any other platform. And so there's some hidden gems there. There are types of games you might not get on other platforms. The Star Trek games on the PS2, not too bad. Was it Encounters and Shattered Universe? Solid games. And honestly, in those style of games, I don't think we've seen any since then in the Star Trek, you know, genre, for example. And so that's one reason why I will probably always have a PS2. Because those games I can go back to. So what is it about? What made you fall in love with the PS2? Why are you still playing it to this day? You could talk about that. You know, what do you hope people get out of your videos? I mean, obviously you want them to be funny and entertaining, but is there a deeper purpose to that? You know, getting a laugh is great. Why do you want people to laugh? Do you think laughter is the best medicine? Do you think, you know, it helps people connect? Whatever. So, you know, you could flesh that out with a couple more paragraphs, I think, as to the why, and more specifically the what. And I've spoken about this before in descriptions, but you can also put things like you could follow the rule of 3, where you could cite 3 examples of games you like or videos you've done or types of videos you do to just sort of show examples, to exemplify, to turn into an example, in this case, you know, some of the best of what you do, your most watched videos or something like that. I do that on my Vacation Impossible channel. I mentioned James Darren in the Grand Canyon and in the Atlantis Water Park, I think. You know, you know, just whether it's this or that or this, we love to show you a good time. You can do that kind of a sentence structure very easily and then slip that stuff in. Helps you with SEO because you're talking about those things again in your description of your channel as well as tied to all the video stuff. So there's some stuff for that channel. Doing a bit of light touch today because I don't have a huge amount of time. This month I missed a couple of weeks because of my schedule, and that's totally fine. I don't want you to think I'm ragging on you for that. When audiences grow, you know, you get all types, and some people might be picky about that sort of thing. I'm just thinking that the space could be better utilized. Is really the crux of my argument there. So glad you were here for that review. Hopefully that gives you some value. So Crazy Blood Official. Oh no, wait, no. First there's Kevin Kundra. And I think he was waiting patiently. I think he's been with us before. The small version of your profile picture reminds me of Adam Conover from Adam Ruins Everything. And so mixed feelings. If it's in the style of, then that's awesome, and I would probably like it. If it's a straight copy, then I'd be upset. So let's see what it is. Yeah, it looks like it's done with a pen. It's in the style of. I think you're probably good. I think it's fine. I think you're solid. I think you're on the good side of that. I think it's evocative. It's similar. I'm not saying you copied it. Maybe you were inspired. Maybe you didn't even know. Maybe you don't even know who that dude is. But yeah, no, I think that's kind of cool because it looks like it's done with a pen. And if that is actually done with pen art, like looking at the hair, nicely done. I mean, I don't have any skills in that regard, but I know what I like, and I like that. So let's see here. Hey there. I'm Kevin, and I'm a singer, songwriter, and music producer, and I upload my own composition and cover videos. That's pretty cool. Drop hey there. Just take it out. It is not adding any value. It's not searchable. It's not SEO. I'm just being brutal. Hopefully this is okay. But you came here, so I'm assuming I have your consent to kind of rip your channel apart and hopefully rebuild it in a slightly better way. And I've talked about this a lot because all of us, I think, YouTubers, forget about our channel description. It's like, you know, when you first sign up for certain social media sites, you know, dating profiles back in the day, you know, you have to write a profile about yourself or a description of yourself, and it's like, oh God, I never enjoyed that, generally speaking. Sometimes try to be funny, but the first time I did it, it was like, ugh. Just get me to the next field. Let me activate my account. I don't care. No one reads these things anyways. But some people do, because your channel can appear in search results, as it is right now. And also the algorithm reads everything. The algorithm is always listening. So in that regard, what I think is, yeah, you're not feeding the algorithm or the audience well with, hey there, it's conversational, it's fine. Verbally, if you begin your video saying, hey there, and it's nice high energy, that's fine. In text, I don't think it translates as well. It says, I'm Kevin. Your channel name is Kevin, so I don't know that that's necessary. And having searchability on the name, not a huge thing. And since it's your channel name, I think you're okay. So for that, I would just begin with singer, songwriter, and music producer. I upload my own composition and cover videos, and then go from there. And so you can add maybe a little bit more specifics earlier in, before it gets cut off in search results, so that if somebody's scrolling through, they're like, you know what? I'm going to check that out. What more interest or value or intrigue could you add using the space that used to say, hey there, I'm Kevin and I'm a... Just say, start off, singer, songwriter, and music producer, and and go from there, I think would be better. Before I dive into your channel, one suggestion, we have someone in the Facebook group that I'm a fan of. His name is Max Hickson, and he does like Buddy Holly rockabilly covers, but also his own music. So you might want to consider taking a look at his channel, possibly for some inspiration. I imagine it's a very different kind of music. I don't know if there's a collab opportunity there one day or something like that. But he's just somebody who I have subscribed to, full disclosure, just because I enjoy the music. And I like his style and stuff like that. And so there you go. Looks like the results here are actually all from your channel. Official music video. The image quality is pretty solid. So some covers. Cover mashup. Post Malone The Weeknd. So, okay. I mean, your thumbnails are pretty good. My one thought is that they don't have great consistency, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. Because, you know, there's different styles. You know, there's different music styles and stuff that I think you're touching on. I think you got good hair. A little jealous. But anyways, let's dive into the channel. That was not relevant at all. So initially, I'm seeing some things I like, and I am seeing some opportunities for improvement. I like your banner. Your banner's pretty solid. It's just, yeah, no, it's good. I can't criticize that banner. That is solid. Maybe the text could be darker to pop a little bit more, but otherwise that is solid. And you know, that profile picture image, you're using it there, really solid. Good. Like, it gives you a unique identity. I think I think you're doing well. You don't have any social links, I see. So I've spoken about this at length, but you might be new to the channel, where you're going to want to go and sign up for Twitter and Instagram and Snapchat and everything you can think of. And try to use the same name so that you can lock that username down so that you don't get imposters later. It may sound paranoid and crazy, but the Small YouTubers Boost group, around the time that we hit 35,000 members, people started to create imposter things of us. You know, the Discords where they pretended to be the official one of the group, or people in there pretended to straight up be me, which was annoying because I got like angry Facebook messages like, oh, why were you a jerk in chat today? I'm like, I was in no chat today. And so, I mean, if and when you find a measure of success, and some of the stuff you're doing here looks very professional, I think you will find success. To some degree, I can't predict, but you don't want other people trying to pretend to be you or cash in on that for you. You want to own your own brand. And I mentioned this before, but if you have a consistent name, and look, that profile picture of yours, if that is the same profile on Twitter, the same thing on Instagram, same thing in all those places, makes you look more professional, it increases your reach, there's a lot of sharing opportunities there, but also, outside of YouTube, it can increase your likelihood of being verified. So on YouTube, in order to get verified, you have to have a certain number of subscribers, and that number is high. But in other platforms, they don't necessarily have a metric like that. And so it's a mix of different things. And one of the things that Twitter and Instagram and Facebook and other platforms look at before verifying someone, it's not just a follower game. They'll go and they'll check your links to your other social media presence. They'll potentially do a Google search on you. They'll get like, it's almost like a background check to a degree, a social media background check. And so they'll try to see like, oh, well, he's on these other things and he's using the same fonts and the same color scheme and the same profile picture and similar content, and the descriptions are very similar, it's very consistent. This is probably all the same guy. And doing that makes you look more professional to your audience, but also to these people who are like, should I give this person that magic blue check mark on Facebook? So I recommend doing that for all of those reasons. And then, you know, when you post a video, there's the link. There's a series of like buttons. They've been a little buggy lately for the last couple of weeks, but when they're working, they're great. Where you can just instantly share to Pinterest or whatever in just a couple of clicks. And so why wouldn't you? I mean, Pinterest, I just use that sharing and that's it. I've got an account on Pinterest. I don't know how any of it works. And yet I still get anywhere between 300 and 1,300 impressions on Pinterest of my content every week. It doesn't necessarily drive a lot of traffic to my YouTube channel yet, but it's getting exposure out there. And that's not a bad thing. Making people aware. Maybe they're Googling it. I don't know. Maybe they're going like, oh, then they'll Google and it'll show up as the traffic source being a Google search or something and not showing as Pinterest. I don't know. So it's not driving a lot of traffic to my channel. A little bit. 14 views a week or something maybe. But it's a couple of clicks out of my day. Maybe one day it'll pay off. Why not? Why not take that bet? It costs you almost nothing. So, some other things here. I noticed that your subscriber count is hidden, and so that's going to be problematic for a couple of reasons. There's different theories out there. Some people think hiding your subscriber count helps. I don't think so. For one thing, it's rare that I see people hiding it. And for another thing, it's rare that I see successful people hiding it. In fact, it's not rare. I've never seen it. You know, you go to Roberto Blake, you go to PewDiePie, whoever, they do not hide their subscriber counts. You know, Pat Contry, Cinemassacre, anyone I can think of, you know, of medium and large size, however you define it, very rarely do people hide their subscriber count. So I recommend against it. I don't think that people look at subscriber counts as a reason not to subscribe. I think, it's just my opinion, my psychology and how I think, that when I see a subscriber count, it only increases my likelihood that I'm going to subscribe. Maybe they're big and they got tons of subscribers. And I'm like, well, they're a professional, established channel, so I'll probably get professional content from them. I'll subscribe. Maybe they're small. Maybe it's a small number. And I'll be like, you know what? This guy's video is pretty awesome. I want to support this guy. I want to, you know, Brett Westgore. I keep mentioning this guy, and I keep hoping one day he starts making videos again. You know, it was like January of last year. He came out with a couple of videos about wanting to buy a Tesla, and they are just great. Like, they are perfect. Maybe perfect's a little high, but they are fantastic. Like, you know, the quality and the comedy, and he's got like this great straight man, and like, he wants a Tesla, I want a Tesla, I can relate to it, but he's very funny about it. And so I watched, I subscribed, I liked the videos, I commented the videos, I shared them with friends and family, they shared them with their friends and coworkers, and then he stopped making videos because he got a second job, and I think he's doing very well for himself, and that's fantastic. But every now and then, all these people I recommended him to come back to me and say, what about this Tesla guy? He's not making videos anymore. And I'm like, I know. And, you know, that's a little bit of a rant on my part, but the thing is, and the reason I mention that is because, you know, okay, I see that he's maybe you know, he didn't have tons of subscribers, definitely sub 1,000, but I'm like, I want more content from him because I enjoy it and I want to see more and I want to see him do well on the platform. So I subscribe and I like and I comment and I share and I recommend him to other people, and it's for selfish reasons. It is because I selfishly want more of his content. And if you have an audience that feels that way about you, that's awesome. That's what you want. That's what I think we all want, right? And so let them come along on the journey, sharing your subscriber count, sharing aspects of the journey, sometimes successes, sometimes the struggles. That can have an emotional connection potentially with your audience. I mean, you might not want to share everything. You know, you want to have boundaries, and, you know, maybe your audience doesn't care. Maybe they just want to come and listen to a good tune, and that's fine. But the subscribe number, it's not in your face. So I would strongly recommend not making that private. And one of the reasons that that's problematic is because you privated it, I can't look at when people are subscribing to your channel. And so I'm limited in the amount of a review I can do right now. Because if I open up my Channelytics, I can't get a subscriber count out of you. And so I can't, you see, subscriber count shows as 0, which is really just hidden. Subscriber 0, looks like you're getting no subscribers. That's probably none of that is true. But I try to, when I use Channelytics, this TubeBuddy tool, I try to make associations and figure out causal links or, you know, or correlations, perhaps. There's a car alarm going off outside. Pay it no mind. Okay, it's done. And so seeing like spikes in subscribers when you gain and lose subscribers can tell me something. And so either through here, through Social Blade, or wherever, I'm denied that information, that knowledge, so I'm limited in how much I can help you as a result as well. So that's another factor. Just because I have this up, I will point out that, again, no social links, so please do it. But also you don't have any channel tags. We're conscious very much, I think, a lot of the time about the tags we put on our videos. We talk about it all the time. So many people think it's the only thing TubeBuddy's good for, and they couldn't be more wrong, but whatever. I mean, hey, if you get that out of it, that's great, but there's so much more there. But putting that aside, we think about the tags on our videos a lot. We think about the tags on our channel very rarely. And so the one who does think about it has an advantage. So definitely have some tags there. Music. And then, like your name, Kevin Kundra Music. Kevin Kundra Songs. Kevin Kundra Covers. Kevin Kundra Original Music. There's a few right there. Go do it. Do it once, forget about it for a while. It'll help. Trust me. I can't guarantee it, but it certainly won't hurt. As long as it's accurate. It's when they're inaccurate they can hurt. So you've got uploads and popular uploads here, which is fine. Let's check what kind of playlists you got rocking. Okay, so you've got a cover song playlist. Only 2 videos in the original composition, which is fine. It's a relatively young channel. You've been around since November 2017. But because of the kind of content you produce, you're not able to put it up all the time. You can't write a song every day. You can't record a song every week. I understand that. The algorithm doesn't care, sadly. And so you, like me, in some respects, and other people, kind of need to ignore the people who are like, you can only be successful if you upload every day. It's impossible. It's impossible for animation channels and other things, unless you have staff working for you. And then you get a chicken and the egg problem where you need to be successful to hire staff before you can be, to put out videos every day to be successful. And it doesn't work that way. So you're going to have to chug along your own way. And that particular algorithmic advantage is not available. And that's a shame. And it's totally unfair. And that's part of why I have this channel. Because I think that sucks. So let's get you all the other advantages you can take advantage of. So another one is recommended channels. You got your popular channels module activated. That's good. Recommend you come back in, click edit channel, and you can activate a module in the top right here, just underneath your subscriber box, where you can recommend other channels. And so, for example, I see that you do a Chainsmokers cover. There was some other groups that I mentioned earlier. So maybe, Charlie Puth, things like that. So what I would recommend that you do is maybe you want to recommend those channels as well to help form those associative links. The algorithm can be like, well, if you're recommending them and you're doing videos on similar content, then and maybe that'll help with recommended and related channels. But also it shows that you're supporting the artists that truly originally released the content that you're covering, and so that's a good thing in the community. And can keep people on the platform. It's like, oh yeah, I love that song. You did a great cover. Now I want to go listen to the original again, just to like, what choices did he make that were different and stuff like that? How did it sound by comparison? Keep them on the platform. Session watch time is longer. The algorithm will reward you for that. An alternative, if you don't want to do that, which is totally fine, you can also put channels that you particularly like or channels of a similar nature. Max Hickson, for example, if you just want to do somebody who does covers. But have, at least a couple there, I recommend, because the algorithm will thank you for it, and it'll show the community that you support people like you. And I think when it comes to YouTube's, as with so much else in life, you get what you give. And so that's a simple, easy way that you can do that. And I think, whether or not you believe in karma, it comes back to you. What I would recommend here is adding a horizontal playlist of your covers, because we have that playlist over here. There are 5 videos in it, which means if you were to populate it on your homepage, it would go all the way across. So do it. Put it between uploads and popular uploads, because those are very similar, just to mix it up a little. That's my advice. And then as your channel grows, maybe you can have, other playlists, but not now. I think that would be sufficient for this stage of your evolution. And I think that you should probably consider a channel trailer of some kind. You know, I haven't made mine yet, so I'm kind of hypocritical here, but, you know, I do recommend you can have something serve as a channel trailer. You can have any video function as it, so that anyone who hits your channel page, it will autoplay. I personally am not a fan of autoplay, but it's the way of YouTube, and everybody expects it and knows it now, so it's okay. I don't think you'll upset people. It will get you free views and free watch time, so why the heck not? And, you know, it might just hook them in. So if you've got a song that has a good hook right at the beginning, that might serve as a good channel trailer for now. And then see about making something that's a little shorter, 30 to 60 to 90 seconds, that maybe highlights some of your best stuff. And make a true channel trailer would be my advice. Try and hook people in. You might have a voiceover where you explain what your channel's about, or you might not. It's a style thing, up to you. But those are some things that I would recommend that you do. Do subscribe if you're a music lover. Cheers. So, why? I keep harping on this, but guys, find your why, put your why in there. Maybe not right away, but in the channel description, it's a great place for it. Why should I care about your content? I mean, yes, it's great if your content is so good that you hook me, and for my very selfish reasons that I want to enjoy more of it. That would be fine. That's, you know, that's how Max Hickson got me. But if you're hooking somebody, like you can increase that emotional bond with your audience if they understand why you're doing it. Did music get you through a difficult time? Do you believe that music heals the soul? Do you believe that music is the truest art form? Maybe that's not good because truest could get kind of judgy. But something. Why do you put your time into learning these songs? Is it how you connect and feel more spiritual? Is it how, you know, I don't know. Is it how you met your wife or something? Like, who knows? But if there is some sort of story there, if there's a reason, if there's a how and a why behind it that people might identify with, it can only help. I don't think it would hurt. I mean, if you basically think, if your true why is, I sat down one day, I Googled how to make money and it said make music, don't say that because I don't think people will help with that. But even then, it's why. Pulling yourself out of poverty, yeah, you know, help your mom buy a house, whatever your motivation is. You know, as long as I like to believe, and maybe I'm naive and optimistic here, but that especially if you're at something for, you know, a couple of years, you know, at least a year and a half at this point, I would say, for your channel, and you're here and you're spending time in this live stream watching me yammer on about your channel and try and help, you know, you're investing that time. There's probably some purpose that has some sense of nobility behind it. I would hope, I would think. So find it. Why do you do what you do? And then just tell people. And right here in a second paragraph. And if you're talking about it at all, I guarantee you that you're going to end up using some of those keywords that are great for your channel. And that'll help you on SEO as well. So it helps the machine, and it also helps on the emotional level with the people. So I say do it. And social links. I talked about that before. So let's check out chat. How's chat doing? Is everybody good? Let's see. J Corbs says, hi, Ray. Hi, J Corbs. DJ Talks is in the house. What else we got kicking around here? Naturally, Zandra says, hello. 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 Staying busy, learning, yeah. Instagram doesn't let you unless you have a certain number of followers. Yeah, true. And it sucks that it's getting that way. He's being Canadian harsh. That is absolutely it. Well, and the thing is, you never know how, like, someone is responding on the other side, you know, with the internet and everything. It's like, you know, we think about trolls and keyboard warriors and people who are just, like, super vicious because they can't get punched for saying the wrong thing. But I try to think about also the other side of it. Is like, I'm putting stuff out into the universe, and I don't know what effect it's having on them. And the last thing I want to do is be devastating. So, you know, I worry about that sometimes. So Crazy Blood Official, I think I kind of answered your Social Blade question. Oh, the channel type doesn't appear on your Social Blade. Okay, so what you're going to want to do... I think if there's a good way to show you. When you're uploading a video, you have the ability to select the type that it is. You know, is it educational? Is it travel? Is it automotive? Gaming? There's a lot of things. So what you're going to want to do is be very consistent there. Go back on your back catalog and look at what you've selected. Hopefully something. And make sure that, like, figure out, first of all, ask yourself, what's my channel about? Okay, it's about gaming. It's about music. It's about whatever. and find the YouTube category for videos that matches that, because it's like a drop-down list you select from, and then go and mark all of your videos for that. And then after you've done that, give it a little bit of time. And if, like, say in a couple of weeks or something, Social Blade is still not showing you as having the type, you have the ability to submit a support ticket, and they can just go in and refresh it. It doesn't take very much time at all. Just finished editing my live stream while listening to all this knowledge. Thanks, Sonny. That's very nice of you to say. Okay, let's see who's next. Operation Life, are you still here? Ray, have you noticed that the YouTube Studio Beta does not show the character number when adding tags, editing the video? I just noticed it. No, I didn't know that. I don't like Studio Beta. I'm, you know, it's funny. I'm aware of, like, the law of diffusion of innovation and stuff like that, and the people on the curve. You got your early adopters and all that kind of stuff, and then you've got your, like, your troglodytes at the very end who are like, these are the people who, what is it Simon Sinek says? These are the people who got a touch-tone phone because they couldn't get rotary anymore, which just wasn't available. When it comes to Studio Beta versus Classic, I'm that guy. I like Classic so much. I barely use Studio Beta, and I know they've said, threatened, as far as I'm concerned. YouTube has said, threatened, that that's going to be the only interface sometime this year, and I'm dreading it. And I'm going to be dragged kicking and screaming into that. Sonny, Achilles Melee, he's embraced it much more than I have. He's more of an early adopter when it comes to that sort of thing. For me, there's just there's so much complexity in Classic, and I still feel like I'm learning about it. And then, like, moving my cheese to mix my metaphors here and references, and it's like I'm managing 2 channels. I'm managing the Facebook group. I'm doing so much. I got a blog. I'm doing all this stuff right now. Learning a new way of doing it is they're gonna have to make me do it. Unless you know, I don't know, Roberto Blake makes a nice tutorial, or someone comes along and shows me an advantage of using it over the Classic. But as of yet, I haven't really seen it. So, and you're doing a great job of on my side here, helping me out. You're making a great point. If they're no longer showing that information, they're making it harder for us to do our jobs or our hobbies, and that's annoying. Come on, YouTube, make it easier, not harder. Don't take away the things we love. You are still here. I have been working on a new cover image for YouTube, but I'm here. That's cool. Is there anything that did you have any question, tutorial, channel review, video get unstuck? Anything I can do for you today? They only just barely added end cards to beta. Yeah. You can, yeah, it's pretty convenient. Okay, I have to go and join the live stream. A lot of information. Thanks for joining us, like Abbas Productions, and you'll be able to watch this live stream, everything that you miss, later if you want. So, you know, we are currently an hour and 6 minutes in. So if you want to come back and pick up where you left off, then you can do that. Just skip ahead to the hour point. But great to have you here. Thanks for joining us. Hope you have a good rest of your day. They just barely added? Yeah, what do you mean by barely? Just curious, Operation Life. Is there anything I can do for you today? If not, we'll move on to the next person, because people are very keen. And I like that. I do like that there's a lot of people here and that they look forward to the help. And, you know, the thing, and this comes up a lot in chat, thankfully not so much today, people ask, they're like, oh, well, you know, you spend so much time on these diversions. Or, you know, you spend so much time on this one guy's channel, stuff like that. And it's like, yeah, you know what? This could be a numbers game. I could just be busting out, like, the fastest channel review you ever heard of. 90 seconds. And I'll go in and I'll be like, it's good. Change your thumbnail. Oh, that one's bad. Add social links. Oh, this. I don't think that's going to help people. I think if a deep dive, really picking it apart, spending as much time, giving as much help as I can think of for every channel I encounter, I think it helps that channel, but not just that channel. I think it helps everybody else. There's so many other people who are like, and I've heard it time and time again. They're like, you didn't review my channel, but I saw what you said to that guy, and that really clicked for me, and that gave me an idea. So I'm always up for constructive criticism. I would love it. So I'm assuming that's a channel review that you're talking about there. I know you're working on your banner, so I'll omit the banner from review. Operation Life. It's not like the board game, is it? Oh. Okay. I wonder if you're working on your profile picture too, because I didn't realize there was text in there until I just kind of like, I'm having to lean in and squint at my monitor here. And I got a decent sized monitor. So that text is not doing much for you. Um, yeah. It's interesting. Not entirely certain. There seems to be something in the middle. It might be a clock or a globe or something. So yeah, I'm not sure what that's supposed to be. So I think that's a concern, just because it doesn't communicate a lot of information. I like the color scheme, and the shape, but there's a lot of detail in there that's getting missed. And so that, I think, is something to think about. Even if it's something as simple like you got the ring around it, and like even if you took that out and made everything inside just a little bit bigger, then maybe it would come across a little more clearly. Let's see. We offer RV life adventures and travel with an extensive DIY section and how-to videos chocked full of simple-to-follow RV. That's a cool description. I think your channel description there is on point. So that's good. And that's the interesting thing. Like, from your logo, I get nothing about RV or travel, unless that is maybe a globe, or do-it-yourself, or any of that kind of stuff. So the image doesn't convey the information. And not every logo needs to do that. I'm just saying that if you're expecting people to understand what the picture inside is and to be able to read Operation Life, that ain't happening. For the Operation Life thing, if you want that, like, you could just make that the text is black and just put it on what's there. Might be a little, and make it a little bigger, like a nice block font of some kind, maybe Beebus new with like a fake bolding on it or something. Maybe that might be enough. Might not. I don't know. Let's dive in. Outtakes funny blooper gag reel. 35-second channel trail. I like it. I want to watch it, but I can't because I made stupid rules for myself. It's like, now I got to try and remember to come back and watch this on my own time. Okay, so like up here in your banner, I know I wasn't going to talk about the banner, but you got the RV just rolling with it. I kind of like that. I think that's kind of cool. Oh, it says RV there. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Interesting. Anyways, I said I wouldn't talk about the banner, so I'm not going to talk about the banner. You got your links there, which is really quite good. Teespring, so you're selling t-shirts. That's cool. I've sold my first t-shirt. I should look in on that. I haven't gotten any money from it, but you know, it's still cool. Patreon, LinkedIn. I recently created a LinkedIn page for Vacation Impossible. I don't know what I'm doing with it yet, but I got it locked down. Trying to follow my own advice. Featured channels, popular channels. Well done. Your thumbnails are pretty good. I like that. I mean, they don't have huge consistency, but you seem to have a very expressive face. And so, like, every thumbnail here in your uploads list, your face is telling a different emotional story. And, like, the text isn't jumping out at me great. Oh, it is a little bit, but the stuff with, like, the box around it, kind of like the 18 font. I don't know if that's a accurate, good reference or whatever. Kind of like the MASH font, depending on generations, I guess. I don't know what a more recent reference would be. Military, I guess. It doesn't pop very well. It's a little hard to read. It's easy to lose it in the background. And so what my eyes are drawn to in this first row of thumbnails is your face. But that's great in that sense, because yeah, it's really like, it's telling, every picture tells a different emotional story, and like the image quality is really high as well. And so I want to know, like, the second picture is kind of like Suspicious John Goodman, and the middle one's actually kind of funny because it's almost like the makeup, you know, person who shows their eyeshadow, or maybe it's like sleeping or something. I don't know. And so the first one where you kind of, I don't know what that is either, but I'm a little intrigued. But really, it's the second one, which is like Suspicious John Goodman. The third one, where it's kind of like the furrowed brow, you're wondering about something. And the last one, like, you got this look of concern. It looks like you've got like maybe a scratch on your forehead. It looks like you're lying down. It looks like a still frame from like a medical drama. And so, like, don't lose that. Don't lose the you in there, because that's intriguing. And you got, you know, with the beard and everything, it's a very unique look. You know, jokes about John Goodman notwithstanding. Yeah, so I think that, and I talked about this before in a previous live stream that I turned into a clip video as well, where I talk about like having an expressive face and using those expressions to your advantage and really conveying emotion with that very quickly, and creating an emotional attachment with your audience and stuff. In these recent thumbnails, you're doing that fantastically well. So going down further, one thing to be aware of on thumbnails is in the bottom right-hand corner, you get the time code, right? And so that's fine on your recent ones. Cuts off, I think, the S in days, but that's fine. But in some of the older ones here, from about 2 to 3 months ago, it's great with the picture of porridge or whatever that is. Oh, banana ice cream. Okay. And so that's fine. That fits perfectly. That looks nice and professional. And I noticed that you do some outlines around your thumbnails. It's kind of good. They look kind of nice. But like keep RV warm during a freeze. Freeze, the Z and the E is cut off for the time code at this resolution. And I think that could be a little bit more readable, maybe a little bit more color consistency in the text. I don't know. I'm not exactly sure how I would approach that. Because the text it's all saying something important. So I'm not really sure how I would redo that. I'm not sure. Because I like the warm. I like the way that looks. The warm jumped out at me. But like the what are you, the U and the question mark is missing. RV living cost, the ST is covered. It has arrived upgrade. So just to be aware of that bottom right quadrant, and I forget this sometimes myself, it can be really risky to put important information or text there. So because of that time code. 21-day water fasting for better health. That's kind of cool. Again, here with the water fast, like really expressive pictures. That one's kind of disturbing, but it's intriguing. The one with the burst capillary, I'm guessing, or pink eye or something going on there. And so again, you're very, very expressive in your face. Keep using that. Like over here, RV living cost. You're hiding a little. I mean, I'm assigning a cause and motivation, which is just I'm making stuff up here. But you know, you're hidden more accurately behind the hat and the glasses. You're a little reminiscent of the Mythbusters guy in that one shot, actually. Adam, I think is his name. So that you got that going for you. But otherwise, it's like compared to some of your other things, it's like I can't read your face at all. You're just there, and so there's no emotional read through for me. Bitcoin scams, hype mining. That seems off-brand to me. You're getting about between 700 and 1,000 views on those versus your others, though. They're performing okay for you, so that's fine. It seems out of place, though. What I would suggest possibly doing is for these, take a look at your traffic sources. Because if people are not clicking on these on your channel page, then I would consider removing it from your channel page. Keep them on your channel, but stylistically, as I'm scrolling through, this is like one of these things does not look like the other. Also for Crypto Tab, and for a couple of reasons. One, it seems like the subject matter has changed drastically, but also the playlist only has 4 videos, so it doesn't fill out the horizontal row. So from like a design element, it's inconsistent, and also the nature of the thumbnails. So, judging from the views, that's interesting. Everything from 22 to 3K. So, I mean, I would say that, you know, maybe it's okay to continue doing that kind of stuff on your channel, but I don't know that you want to highlight it on your homepage, oddly. Let's see, all videos. That's kind of cool. Product reviews, uploads. You don't have popular uploads, which is interesting because, like, I'm curious about that. In fact, I'm going to go take a look. I'm going to go to your videos tab, but I suggest, like, yeah, remove the 2 cryptocurrency things from the homepage and replace them with just one, which is popular uploads. Because I want to see what's popular on this channel. I'm just curious as a potential viewer, but also as a guy trying to help out. Interesting. Troubleshoot under 5 minutes. Troubleshoot RV, own and generator will not start. So there's some interesting things going on with this one, but it's your most watched video, so like I don't want to risk like and it's only 5 months old, so it's probably still doing okay. It's just I looked at that and I'm like, it looked like a gotcha machine in an arcade park, like, and like the thickness of the outline of the background troubleshoot seems a little bit much, and so like I would suggest putting things like troubleshoot RV generator and maybe drop. I don't know whether or not to keep the under 5 minutes. Maybe yes, no. I don't know because the time code's there. But at the same time, it's your top performing video, so I don't think we want to mess with it. If it at some point stalls, if it at some point goes for like a month with getting virtually no views, then maybe that would be the time to try a different take on the thumbnail, and it might restart that video. But if you're still getting anything more than like if you're getting 100 or more views per month on that still right now, leave it alone. But when it drops below like 100, that may be the time to be like, all right, let's well, Ray said that thing, let's give it a try now that I'm not risking anything. Well, that's kind of interesting. So upgrades, RV. Oh yeah, Crypto Tab is kind of up there a little bit too. 5 reasons not to buy the GoPro Hero 7 White. Very curious. I would watch that, but I made this stupid rule where I don't get to watch videos during these sessions. Stupid me of the past. That guy. His silly ideas. But anyways, no, like, you got a pretty good channel here. Like, you're doing quite well. You got your community tab. I'm curious how you're using that. 3 weeks ago. Yeah, I've got my community tab too. For anyone watching, that's something that's unlocked when you hit 1,000 subscribers. I'm still figuring out how to use it effectively. I basically, like, sometimes YouTube, the app will, like, suggest, hey, like, I had a video hit 10,000 views, and they were like, why don't you share about it in your community tab? I'm like, okay. But other than when it suggests things, and, like, one time I tried to put a joke up. It was, it was when I was at 1,234 subscribers, so it was 1, 2, 3, 4. And I had this joke about, like, Spaceballs and the luggage and all this stuff, and so I put up a little image trying to make fun of it, and it didn't get any interaction, so I'm like, I don't think that was the right thing to do. I don't know. So that was just, this is just me trying to find an opportunity to learn, so that's interesting. Check the About page. Vision statement. I kind of like that. I mean, it's a little corporate, but I kind of like that heading. Here in Operation Life, we believe. Love it. We believe. That is a great statement. We believe that the RV living is about sharing information, ideas, and experiences so that you, the viewers, can learn, grow, and help others, thus passing on our experiences and getting involved. I love that. Yeah. You know, I think about reading that, and I think about, like, I used to go hiking and camping a lot, particularly when I was in college, and I still go a little bit here and there, but, and trust me, I'm going somewhere with this, but the thing is like, when you're climbing a mountain, basically, well, hiking a mountain, it's not like climbing, but it's, you know, hiking, maybe a steep incline, and, like, it's a slog. We're talking like an 8-hour or a multi-day hike or something, and you encounter other people. You always say, like, hi, and it's funny because I wouldn't do that on a city street. And maybe that's just me thing, a Canadian thing, a Vancouver thing, I don't know. But it's like, when it's you versus nature, anyone who is not nature is automatically on your team, is sort of my philosophy. And also, I mean, you know, we've probably heard different stories when you go hiking. It's like, oh, you know, they passed the hikers, you know, like the old Unsolved Mysteries, which is apparently coming to Netflix or something. I'm kind of curious about that. R.I.P. Robert Stack and Ultra Magnus. But, they were like, oh, you know, hikers reported walking past them at this time, and, you know, and or you hear about successful search and rescue stories, and it's like, you know, because they passed somebody and they remembered them. So that's one of the many reasons why you know, you're kind of friendly on the hiking trail. They're like, hey, or they might like, oh, how long until the next clearing, or how much longer till I get out of here, and stuff like that. And, you know, it seems much more friendly than just walking down the street if a stranger was just, you know, started talking to you. And so there's a sense, I think, of community and friendliness there. And I'm wondering if the RV life is a little bit like that. Is there an RV community? And if so, maybe mentioning that a little bit in there. You know, just saying, like, you know, our RVers or whatever you call yourselves, or, you know, they can be a really real tight-knit community, always willing to lend a hand to those in need. Because, like, if you see, and I don't know, here's a question for you, I'm honestly curious, if you're in an RV and you're living the RV life and you see an RV busted on the side of the road, you know, do you pull over? I don't know, are you able to hop on a CB and ask them if they need help or something? Like, if you, or here's another question, let's say that you're in a rest area, you know, and you're just taking a whiz. You're stopping to go to the bathroom and grab a bottle of pop from the vending machine or something. Throw out your trash, right? So, like, you pull up and you see that there's, like, people in a car versus people in an RV. Are you more likely to talk to the people who have the RV because you have that shared relationship, shared language, and maybe culture around it? You know, and if so, I'm curious about that. That might be something that you could add to this. What you got is fantastic. Don't take it away. But that's just me thinking. It's like, you know, fleshing that out. I'm kind of curious. Like, and if you don't have a video on this, maybe this is an idea for potential video of the future of, like, what is the RV community like? Is there one? And is it like, you know, any two people in RVs, you know, pass each other, you know, it's a little Civic Nation kind of thing, like those commercials. I don't know. But I'd be curious, you know. I haven't really traveled much in an RV at all, but I'm a travel guy. And some people in my ensemble have suggested that, you know, doing some RV stuff would be kind of cool. And I think, you know, at some point we'll probably give that a try. Is there a very welcoming, supportive community out there where we'd be kind of like, you know, oh, hey, we're in with the RV crowd. That's kind of cool, you know? Like, I imagine truckers they've got probably a bit of community because they've got, there's probably a code. I mean, there's rules of the road, obviously, and particular about like when they rest and things like that, inspections and all that. But like, you know, they've got their CB, so they've got their citizen band radio, and of course, you know, I can't help but wonder if it's like Smokey and the Bandit for the RV people, you know, just because I don't know, it was kind of a cool concept when I was a kid. And it's like, yeah. So a bit of a tangent there, but I'm just curious. And so if there is, and what is different between, if you know or not, the difference between like a trucker community versus like an RV community and stuff like that. I think that'd be an interesting subject to dive into. But anyways, this is awesome. I think this is cool. You know, your graphics, I would have suggestions, but they're very professional. I'm sure what you're working on is going to be great. January 2016. You know, you're growing, you know, for the age of the channel, you're growing at a great rate, I think. And so I think you're doing very well. You're doing a lot of the little stuff and a lot of the big stuff very well. So that's pretty cool. I wave, but they don't wave back. Interesting. RV life is like the Jeep life. Okay. Community tab confuses you too. Yeah, I mean, it's so new. It's new to a lot of people. We'll have to update the thumbnail. Yeah. Made the change, thanks. That's awesome. Oh, I hope this helps. And yeah, I'm curious about the kind of stuff too. Be like, yeah, the Jeep life. I don't identify with the Jeep life. I think I could identify with the RV life. I don't know about the Jeep life. Off-roading, and I just don't like Jeeps. I find that the suspension's unsmooth, and like, I guess I'm relatively tall or something, because often when I'm in a Jeep, I find myself hitting my head, and it's like, I don't have that problem in any other vehicle. It's the weirdest thing. So anyways, Kevin Kundra's message was retracted. That's weird. I don't know what that's all about. Anyways, we're probably going to be wrapping up. I was only able to do about 90 minutes today, but hey, it's better than nothing. And we got some cool stuff coming on the Small YouTubers Boost, both the channel and the Facebook group. Truckers do not really like us RVers. Fair enough. Maybe they see us amateurs or slow or unprofessional or something. I don't. I'm just theorizing. Oh, and I should probably mention I'm wearing my t-shirt here from Joel, who is Master Move, the Moo Crew. So I just like to try and support small YouTubers when I can, and he was nice enough. I won a contest with him a couple years ago. It's a funny story. I'm in Puerto Vallarta, and I'm scamming on free Wi-Fi at the mall. It's right by the cruise terminal, and I get a message on Facebook, and so I bust out my Surface because I don't have Facebook Messenger on my phone. Because I manage a Facebook group with over 78,000 people in it now, the amount of Facebook messages I get are crazy, and a lot of them are frankly abusive. And so I only look at Facebook messages when I'm on a desktop. So that is not the fastest way to contact me, if you're trying to, for one thing. Anyway, so I was like, I got a message notification on my phone. I'm like, yeah, okay, I'll bust out the Surface. I'll see what this is. And the guy was like, and Joel was like, hey, you won a contest. And I'm like, I don't remember entering a contest, but I'll take. I didn't say that. I was like, yeah, I'll take it. And so it was like, yeah, you could pick. There were different designs, and there was like T-shirts and hoodies and stuff. And he was like, give me your size, what you want, your address, and stuff like that. So what I did is I said either the T-shirt or the hoodie. I picked the Samurai Cow because I'm personally on Cowman. I'm Cowman as my personal account on things like Twitter and Instagram that's not really tied to any of my YouTube activities or whatever. And so I'm like, yeah, the cow thing, I kind of like that. That was kind of cool. And he's just such a nice guy. I watched some of his videos. I think that's probably how I entered the contest. I think he was running a contest and I didn't know, and I commented on one of his videos and my comment got picked, I think is how it happened. But anyways, he sent it to me and yeah, it's a nice shirt. He sells these. And so I'm always happy to support other YouTubers. I'm often, when I'm doing live streams, I'm either wearing this or my Cinemassacre t-shirt, generally speaking. Just, you know, my one little plug that I can do. So anyways, we've got some really cool stuff that I want to talk about quickly coming on Small YouTubers Boost, both here on the channel and in the Facebook group. So There's something awesome happening on Monday that I can't totally talk about, but because it's meant to be a surprise. But basically, I was contacted about 6 months ago by somebody on the East Coast of the United States who was had the idea about someone coming to the group and doing live streams, not unlike mine, but this is somebody who's actually really quite professional. Well over 100,000 subscribers. They are in the creator support space, and I'm not allowed to say their name, but they're coming, and we're going to be doing a live stream on Monday in the group. So that's super exciting. That's in the group, and so we're still working out the details. I think it's gonna be a Facebook Live. I don't think it'll be here on the channel, but I can't say the person's name. But I'm super excited. So that's one thing that's coming at the beginning of the month, and then April I am calling. It's gonna be around noon Pacific. So, you know, figure out your own time zone. I'm here in Vancouver, so like Vancouver, Seattle, LA, Portland, it'll be noon on Monday, is when we're going to go live, is the plan, assuming everything works out. But it looks like it's happening. It took 6 months to figure out. And so super, super excited about that. But only me, the mod team, and obviously the person coming knows who it is. So, and we've all been sworn to secrecy because it's supposed to be a surprise. So that's cool. I'm very excited about that. Because that's been 6 months in the making. And the other thing is April, I'm calling the month of Fridays. And also whatever we do, you'll be able to watch it later. So, you know, whether it's Facebook Live or YouTube or whatever, we'll make sure you can watch it later if you missed the live event. But what I'm calling April the month of Fridays. I'm going to be doing live streams like this one every single Friday of April. And that's pretty cool. I'm not sure about the duration. I'm hoping to go for at least 2 hours each time, but we'll see. Maybe I can do more, maybe I can do less. You know, life does get in the way, so God willing, everyone will remain happy and healthy and able to participate. My technology will hold up and everything, but I'm very excited about that. So every single Friday in April. So, you know, April's like the beginning of some people's fiscal year, or it's the beginning of the second quarter, spring, whatever it is. For my travel channel, Vacation Impossible, gotta plug it. You know, we do better around that kind of time. So what I'm hoping is April is going to be a strong month of growth for just all of us. And so, you know, I'm going to be sharing what I know. I'm sure I'm going to be learning from you guys. So, you know, I'm really looking forward to that. So do please make sure that you tune in for that. And I like to have a takeaway where you guys can go and actually, you know, do something concrete to improve your YouTube situation. So I'm just trying to think of what would be a good one because I'm so excited about these other things and I'm like distracted. But honestly, one thing, subscribe to this channel, turn on notifications because I didn't know I was going live today. I was talking to Achilles Melee yesterday, and I did not mention that I was going live because I did not know I was going live today. This was a last-minute thing. I can't always announce it in advance. I think I gave like less than an hour's notice on Twitter and like a couple hours notice on Facebook. I don't know. So anyways, have yourself subscribed here. We put out TubeBuddy tutorials. We put out these live streams. We get member tips submitted by other people. It's all about helping you grow your channel and basically making a fair, even playing field on YouTube for everybody. So it's not just the guys that knows the tricks. I want you to know the tricks too. That's why I do this because frankly, it pisses me off. That YouTube is, for some people, it's so intimidating. And so I'm trying to make it less intimidating. So with notifications on, then you join the chat. And as you probably saw today, I go chronologically through chat because it's the only way that I know how to make it fair. And I just go through and do the request to channel reviews, whatever. So if you want your channel reviewed, your tutorial shown, your question answered, whatever it is, join us early. That's why you're going to want those notifications on so you can join us early. So honestly, yeah, that is, so, you know, your mission, if you choose to accept it. Subscribe to this channel with notifications turned on. And also, as I was mentioning earlier, if you don't have TubeBuddy installed into your browser, click the link below, install even just the free version. You're going to get Videolytics, Channelytics, and at least 3 suggested tags for every video that you upload or edit. It's a super fantastic tool. Best practices. Keeps you from missing out on things like info cards, end cards, remembering the captioning, etc., etc. So that's your mission if you choose to accept it. Strongly recommend it. And I'm looking forward to seeing you on Monday in the Facebook group at noon Pacific time, and then every single Friday in all of April. So thanks for watching, guys. It's been a blast for me. I hope it's been useful for you. I look forward to seeing you next time. This live stream will self-destruct in 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2,